Good morning, Broward County. My name is Sammy Hadi, and today I'm joined by Anna Suarez, one of the environmental program supervisors of the Ambient Air Program of Broward County. Today we'll be talking about the recent Saharan Dust event that has brought moderate levels of air quality to Broward County. I have a couple of questions for you, Anna. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, Sammy.
So, starting off, what is Saharan dust?
Well, Saharan dust is what its name implies. It's essentially a huge dust storm that rolls off the North African coast and crosses the Atlantic Ocean. During the summertime, these events are frequent. They can occur every 3 to 5 days. And although it impacts air quality, it's beneficial to people in our area because it plays a big role in the suppression of tropical cyclone development because it brings very dry air to the middle parts of the atmosphere, very high surge of air called the vertical wind shear, and it has large amounts of dust, and researchers think that dust suppresses the formation of rain in tropical systems. And additionally, research by NASA has shown that Saharan dust also helps to fertilize the Amazon by bringing much needed phosphorus to the Amazon rainforest, which is limited in that area.
That's so interesting how our globe is so interconnected. We can have dust from Africa move over to South America and affect the Amazon. So moving on, how does Saharan dust affect our air quality here in Broward County?
Well, as the name implies, Saharan dust is made up of dust particles. And these dust particles are very small. They're less than 10 microns in aerodynamic diameter, which allows them to travel large distances across the Atlantic Ocean into the Caribbean and the Americas. And because of their small size, they are easily inhalable and they travel deep into the respiratory system. But residents that are susceptible to that have respiratory issues or heart issues should be mindful because particulate pollution affects the heart and the lungs. So people need to pay attention to the current AQI, the air quality index, and limit exposure when levels of pollutants are higher, especially people with heart or lung disease, children, and the elderly, because they're most likely to be affected by this type of pollution. So they should limit their exposure, stay indoors where the air is going through a filter, and enjoy that being outside some other time. Plus, it's really humid and hot when it's a Saharan dust event. You probably don't want to be outside anyway.
Definitely, good point. So how can we tell that the dust is present in our air? Do we have sensors or monitors?
We do, but before the event occurs, we rely on other information. Every day, the agencies in the state of Florida utilize resources such as models and satellite data provided by agencies such as NOAA, NASA, and the Naval Research Lab, and universities, plus internal models to forecast air quality. Because this state is frequently impacted by Saharan dust, we are always on the lookout for it. So in addition to that, we also have local meteorologists are really good about letting us know ahead of time whether Saharan dust is present in the atmosphere, because not only does it impact the weather, it also impacts the tropical cyclone development. Forecasting air quality is an important facet of the work that state and local and tribal air quality programs perform for the US EPA. The primary goal of the EPA is to protect human health. That's number one. So that's part of that. And during the actual event, in real time, we have monitors throughout the county that measure the levels of particulate pollution and other pollutants, and we report it all to the EPA storehouse for it, which is Air Now. And there, that information can be disseminated to people through the Air Now website and some apps that they have. And if the levels get high enough, you can also see it with your naked eye. You can see that it looks hazy outside, and if it gets heavier, you can actually tell that it's like an orange brown color. And normally when we have sample filters that we collect in a normal day, most of the sources of particle pollution in an urban area or suburban areas such as this is high temperature combustion sources like automobile emissions, cooking, lawn equipment, diesel engine construction equipment, all those things. So most of the particles we see on filters have like a black to gray color. When we have a Saharan dust event, the filters are actually show like an orangey brown color on them because of the Saharan dust. So, and in addition to that, like the meteorologists have been saying, they also give really nice sunsets.
So moving on, how many air monitoring sites does Broward County have?
We have 6 air monitoring sites. We don't measure fine particles in all of them, but we measure all the criteria pollutants that are required as part of the National Ambient Air Quality Standards, except for lead, because after the phasing out of lead in fuel for on-road vehicles, it really isn't a problem for any of the areas that don't have another additional source of lead. In the state of Florida, I think Hillsborough County is the only one that monitors for lead because they have a lead smelter in their county. But we monitor for the rest of the pollutants, and all that data that's collected real time is reported to EPA for the AQI.
Okay, last but not least, where can I find the daily air quality forecast?
You can find the forecast and the actual current conditions on the AirNow website. It's airnow.gov.
Thank you, Anna, for sharing all these amazing resources. I will definitely share these resources on our Facebook and Twitter. Thank you so much for taking the time to answer my questions, and I hope all of you at home have enjoyed this experience as much as I have. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you. Bye.